Hello everyone, my name is Morel Fresco and welcome to our very first podcast. Today's first episode asks an important and often debated question. Does the Bible really say that being gay is a sin? Many Christians argue that it does, pointing to several verses in scripture as evidence. But is it truly what the text means, or are we missing the original interpretation? To explore this honestly, we're going back to the original language of the Old Testament, Hebrew, and also to the New Testament, which is at the time was written in Koine Greek. And then understanding the original words, context, and culture is essential if we want to understand what the Bible is actually saying. To help us with this, I am joined by a close friend from Israel. She has studied Torah and as well as the Bible and is fluent in Hebrew. For privacy and safety reasons, she has chosen to remain anonymous, given the current global climate and the rise in hatred towards Jews or, Israelis. Please welcome Miriam and someone who is also raised in a Christian family and is bisexual Irish. Welcome to our very first podcast.
Thank you.
It's such a nice welcome. Wait, I need to put my... So, do you guys want to introduce yourself first, or should I just go directly to it?
Whatever you want.
Okay, let's start with how was it actually for you guys growing up? Let's start with Irish. How was it being raised? Because you're raised in a Christian household, aren't you?
Yes, but not really like practicing religious household.
Okay. So it wasn't like very strict in your
It was
household.
more my grandparents and my Irish side family, but in the household it was like up to me and up to what I wanted to do. For my dad, it was like he was really happy for me. He supported me. For my mom, it was a bit more complicated at first. She didn't really know, what bisexual was, so it was kind of hard for her. But that now she's like totally okay. And it's more like my grandparents that were like, they just didn't want to face it. They just said, you are straight, you're just a bit lost, you're confused. But now it's kind of okay. Well, I thought that my dad was gonna be the one, that's gonna be the most hateful, because he grew up in a really, really Christian household in Ireland. But he has another view on Christianism. But like he's more open-minded. It's more my mom that like she was kind of thinking that it was like a sin, but not too much. It's my grandparents that thought it was a sin, and now they're not saying that anymore. But yeah.
So out of curiosity, like how was it for you when you had to talk about it with them?
I was like really, really scared. I was so scared that I was gonna get kicked out or anything, because we never talked about being gay with my parents. Like the topic never came up. And so I talked about my by being bisexual to my cousin and aunts, that like at least I had support from them for sure. And then we all together told them. So I knew I had people on my side anyways. But once I told it, I was more relieved and less scared.
Okay, that is. I mean, it ended well, so that's good.
Yeah.
Then let's go to Miriam. With Miriam, I really have to like pause for a moment to not say your real name. I was almost about to say it.
There's a lot of people who name those, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because
Like,
the thing is, we are still playing games, so just for the sake of it, how was actually with you? Like, does your family know that you're bisexual?
Yes and no. Like my mom knows. She's very nice about it. She's very open and sweet. Wasn't never a problem. My sister knows. I think my brother's like, we don't talk about this stuff. My dad, I never said it to his face, but I'm like giving hints. I'm like, if I'll have an husband or a wife, and yeah.
Okay, but then if you would say your wife wouldn't they mind it?
No, they'll just like move on from it. I'm not like from a like we don't really believe. So we don't have this kind of problem, like the problem my ish has, I don't have it. But yeah, just like a thing, not that deep, for me at least.
Okay, that is honestly good. Because you studied the Torah and also the Bible, have you not, at school? So you have knowledge when it comes to these topics.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are in this podcast. We are actually going to use Miriam to learn the translation. Then we have Irish with her own experience to give us an insight and just to have a talk, chit chat. So the very first one we're going to is, let me check if I can still find it. Okay, so pretty much as a Christian, a lot of Christians are gonna argue that being gay is bad, and I'm gonna show you like a lot of verses, and there are a few verses out here, English translation by the way, because the thing is in English you have different translations, and a lot of them they will use it to say, here it says in the book that being gay is no, it's very bad. So one of the examples, I have actually two of them, is from Leviticus. So the first one is from Leviticus 18:22. You shall not lie with a male as with a woman; it is an abomination. As well in Leviticus 20:13, if a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed a abomination. They shall surely be put to death. So Miriam, what do you have to say to these two verses?
Do you want me to read it in Hebrew and then like explain like is it referring to? Yes, please. Let's pretty much explain who's referring to and also like the whole context of. So in Hebrew at least it translates to Kishkam ism the hakesa shnamta avasu motum tu. It's not about like anything related to like homosexuality or anything like that. It's about like bloodry, like if they both did like some unforgivable things, then they both die. But it doesn't refer to anybody. It refers to everybody who did like a sin, basically.
It says Leviticus 18:22 is a verse in the Bible, book of Leviticus, often translated as "You shall not lie with a male as with a woman; it is a abomination," and is traditionally interpreted as condemning homosexual acts. Appearing in a chapter that details various prohibition on sexual conduct, while traditionally seen as a clear prohibition. Some modern interpretations suggest it might refer to a specific act of sexual violence or cultic practice than all same-sex relationship. Do it to nuances in the original Hebrew.
It says here that it doesn't really matter. It's not a matter of an all same-sex intimacy. It suggests like rape and politics on. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's not about homosexuality.
So out of curiosity, let's go back to Irish. Did you learn anything from the Bible?
I did, but like I forgot.
Okay, what?
Like most of it.
Okay, then what do you still remember when it comes to this type of topic?
We never studied this kind of topic, actually. We never talked about homosexuality or in any kind of way.
How about any, let's say, person that talk about it? The thing is, like, for example, I've been to, like, if you go outside, there are these preachers, and there's a few times where they mention, God loves you and gay is bad. Like, have you never heard of it? Like, people screaming or yelling at people about it?
Yeah, I did, but never had it said it to my face before, really. like maybe in comment sections and stuff like that, but like none from like where I went to do a catalysis. I don't know the English word for that. But
It's in French.
catechisme.
Catechism. Okay. Catalysm.
It's where you like learn about God, about being a Catholic, being a Christian, study the Bible and all. We like everyone there were like never telling me God loves you, stop being gay or whatever. Nor in my family, immediate family, no one said that to me. So yeah.
All right. We're just waiting for Miriam to find the verse. I think like this is the first time that she has opened the book after a few years.
I will open it before, okay?
This is the one this is the one that that's the one to the army by the fresh.
Oh, that's
So-
interesting.
Yeah, that's the one. I got it for free.
That's why
Wow.
you're opening it. That's why you.
Yeah, army first or bury everybody.
Oh my God.
If not for the army, she would have never have the book.
I had it before in school, but I gave it to my brothers,
Okay.
who was worth studying.
What is the whole context of Leviticus all about, actually?
Things that are
horrible to do that could lead to like painful things. It says a lot of like scenes and things that you shouldn't do because yeah. Man, I'm not good at this stuff. Can I have a text? Can I have a text it?
Yes, okay. From what I remember,
You're rowing me into water, man.
Leviticus is about like how the Israelites are supposed to be different from the other nations. Because, for example, in previous times, you have like for example in Egypt and other nations that was like surrounded, that's like neighbor kingdoms of Israel, is where when they honor their god, they would act some sexual things in front of the statues.
Yeah, that exists there.
Yes, they do. So the main point,
It is.
from my knowledge, from what I researched, is that
This sentence is not about homosexuality. No, it is things that people shouldn't do.
yeah, so pretty much
Sure. Yeah.
shouldn't have to rape or have
Sexual intercourse with women.
yeah in
Yeah.
front of God to please God. Like that's not how it's supposed to be.
yeah, but he sees everything, so you just shouldn't do that in general.
And the funny thing is, like before this, Miriam just mentioned that the whole like the verses that I showed is pretty much just about you not being a slut. So it's nothing about being homosexual, whether you are just gay or you are lesbian or
It's about not to sin, and part of it is sluttery and yeah, things that are like that. Okay, picking through naked women, raping everything. Don't do that. Thank you. Get sinful, everybody.
Okay, so in short, Leviticus 18:22, you shall not lie with a male as with a woman; it is an abomination. Well, people claim that this verse is used to say that God condemns homosexuality. However, in original Hebrew details, is that the phrase is about a specific sexual act, not a identity. So not about being gay, lesbian, or transgender. The Hebrew word toheva, abomination, means ritually taboo, culturally forbidden, not morally evil for all people at all times. So it's not about who you are, whether you like the same gender, but it's about like the ritually taboo, since whole Leviticus is about ritual, like what you do in a temple to honor God. The same word is used for, let's say, eating saltfish, mixing fabrics, or certain foods. What it's actually about is this law appears in the Holiness Code, meant to keep Israel ritually distinct from surrounding nations. It does not discuss love, relationship, orientation, and ancient Israel had no concept of being gay at the time. So this verse regulates ritual behavior in ancient Israel. It does not talk about sexual orientation, love, or identity. Only a specific act within a purity system. Christians no longer follow. Then on Leviticus 20:13, if a man lies with a male as with a woman, both have committed an abomination. Well, so again, this verse used to argue that the punishment proves God's hatred towards, gay. However, the original context is that this chapter also prescribed death for adultery, cursing parents, breaking the Sabbath, which again Christians do not apply these penalties today, since the come of Jesus. And then let me think. What it's actually about is that legal enforcement of ancient Israel ritual law. So again, ritual law, not universal moral teaching, not about identity. So this is an ancient legal code, not timeless moral doctrine. If we apply this verse literally, we must apply all of them, which no modern Christians would do. Let's okay. Actually, crazy. There's two things. So the first one is actually gonna be Genesis 19, Sodom and Gomorrah. It is usually used by people of saying, "Oh, that is bad," and pretty much what we said before. It is pretty much the same thing, and which close that Genesis 19 is from the Old Testament, so from the Jewish context, and we have Jude 1:7. That is from the New Testament, which says Sodom and Gomorrah indulge in sexual immorality and persuade strange flesh. So the men of Sodom and Gomorrah attempts gang rape, which is about violence, humiliation, power in hospitality. And there is this one specific story that I actually remember, which I was questioning the Bible, to be honest, when I read about it. So there was this one part where Lot and someone I forgot, and pretty much two angels came to Lot, and people found about it, and then this group of men said to Lot, "Oh, no, let us in, let us have sex with these two angels." Lot said, "No, have my daughter instead of these angels." So when I question the Bible, it's because of one, having sex with angels, like, don't do that. But that's not my issue. The second issue is, why the fuck would Lot provide his daughter instead of this angel? Like, you don't just provide your daughter to strange men to begin with. So that's the part where I actually question it. Miriam.
Well,
It's basically nobody knows really why I did that. Okay, that's a very weird thing to do. But at the same time, angels in the Torah are like imagine a situation where your daughter gives birth to like an angel, a kid of God, basically. That was why Gavi's daughter, basically, which is weird. She's not good, which doesn't make any sense. But
Okay. So Genesis 19 of Sodom and Gomorrah. So people claim God destroyed Sodom because of homosexuality. Well, the text actually shows that the men of the city attempt gang rape. Right? So there's a difference between gang rape and actually homosexuality. This is about like violence, power, in hospitality. Later in the Bible, in Ezekiel 16:49, it says, "This was the sin of Sodom: pride, excess, neglect of the poor." So nothing about homosexuality. So Sodom is not a story about gay relationship. It's about violence and domination and social injustice. And still, people use these verses to argue that God hates gay or it's against the Bible, which is not true. Now let's go to Deuteronomy.
Should I read it?
Yeah. So the 20, chapter 23, 17, 18, and then just pretty much, what is it? Just say, read it out in Hebrew, and then pretty much tell us if it is the correct translation, what it here says, and if we are missing any interpretation, or if we're missing any, what it really means.
This one is like easy to understand, at least in Hebrew and English. It's like maybe tricky. In Hebrew it says, Kol kak mivlant Israel lo tezana vi kol kad mivlant Israel lo tezana. It says plain and simple. There will not be there women who is a slut, and there will not be a male like Jewish that is a slut. That's what it says.
Is it like really the word slut, or more like prostitution?
Yes. No, it is the word in both of them.
Both. Okay, so okay. Let me ask this: is the word prostitution the correct word to use in of the original meaning?
Well, yeah, it is, 'cause that's what it is.
Okay, so pretty much at this point, don't be a slut, don't be in a prostitution.
Simple, there will not be a woman that's doing that, and there will not be a man that's doing that.
Okay, I'm so curious why people use this as arguments, but okay. Okay, you know what, I'll just read out. In Romans 1:26 to 27, women exchange natural relations for unnatural ones. Men committed shameless acts with men. And then we go to New Testament, for Romans 1:26 to 27, men committed shameless acts with men. So, but people claim Paul condemns all same-sex relationships. Well, in the original Greek context, Paul describes, again, idolatry leading to excess. He is like addressing the Greco-Roman practice, including temple prostitution, sex with slaves, and pederasty. The word natural, physis, means socially customary, according to the role, not sexual orientation. So it's actually about uncontrolled lust, exploitation, excess tied to idol worship. Paul is criticizing lust driven by power and adultery, not about loving committed relationships. What is your opinion of people using this argument to argue that that gay is not allowed according to the Bible?
Well, I think any arguments that come from the Bible shouldn't be like to judge a gay person. Like, that's just my idea. I really you cannot bring the Bible into being gay. So like any quotes from the Bible for me is not valid. Sorry.
Okay. I mean, to add this, because there is actually in the Bible that says that you should not judge but God Himself. Let me grab that one, because the thing is, for we as humans do not know. Let me see. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, so there's a Bible verse in Matthew 7:1-5. Judge not that you be not judged. And Luke 6:37. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Being central while also teaching right judgment and looking at one's own fault. Let's go to also Romans 14:10-13 and James 4:11-12. It warns against judging fellow believers on matters of opinion or judging God's law, stressing God as the ultimate judge. So pretty much what Irish is telling to not judge is valid, because also in the Bible it mentions that you should not judge, because for one, you do not know what a person is going through. You do not know what is right, you don't know what is wrong. Only God can judge a person, because he or she, because God doesn't have any gender.
They.
Actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna add something after this, because God knows everything, knows how a person is doing, knows what is fair. So for us to use the Bible to say, oh, this is wrong, you cannot do it. You can have an opinion, but you cannot say that it's wrong because only God knows. Even when it comes to the Bible, it has been translated and misinterpreted and been used to, to push their opinion further. But we are forgetting the most absolute law, which is actually let's see, the absolute law was when in Matthew, when Yeshua was being asked, what is the most important law? Matthew 22:37-40. Jesus answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these commandments. Meaning, of all the laws that we know, is connected to love God and to love people. So saying that being gay is wrong, how does that connect to this important law? That's what I'm asking you viewers right now. People who argue that, being gay is wrong, blah blah, it says here, blah blah, yada yada. Ask this first. When you interpret something from the Bible, ask yourself, how does this connect to the most important law? Now I'm asking Miriam, what does the Bible, or at least the Torah, say about God, what gender is? Since actually we're on it right now.
But gender is God, yeah.
So what else, which words are being used to, to say about God, like the gender and how and what God or who God is?
But in everything I've ever read, it never refers to a gender. It always refers to a name because God doesn't really have a gender, and it doesn't refer to their allegedly name, because all the names we use are like not a name, because that's the God doesn't have an identity, really. So, and genders in a name is not like a thing that exists. So, you need to go around it.
Okay, so how about when in the story where Moses asked God, what is your name? What should I tell the people that has brought me to you? And God gave a name. Can you tell me about that name? Actually, the name that he was given. Well, I know it's not allowed to say, but I'm gonna use the name anyways. Yahweh. So what is...
You said it wrong enough, so it doesn't...
Okay, well...
It's okay.
How do you say it?
Could I say it?
Yeah, I'm asking you to say it.
It's Yehovah.
Oh, Yehovah.
But why can't you ever say it?
Because it's his personal name, basically. Oh, okay. It says here that the most common... Okay, wait, first of all, I just need to say that everything in the Bible and everything is what you believe in. There is parts that you can take out differently because you have your own meaning to some of it, or you can choose if one meaning is more right to you. It doesn't mean the other one is wrong. It means that's the one you believe in. So even to God's name, there's a lot of arguments because one will say one thing and the others say another thing because everyone thinks something else is right. It does say that the most common in this name is he was, he is, and he will be.
Then we go to Corinthians 6:9-10. Neither the sexuality immoral, nor malakoi, nor arshen koitai. So the Greek word malakoi literally means soft, used for usually moral weakness, lack of self-control. not a sexual orientation. Arshan koitai literally means male better. But here's the key thing: it's an extremely rare word, likely refers to sexual exploitation, abuse, and prostitution. And the reason why I say it is a very rare word because Paul used like two different word and put it into one. Like Arshan means male, and then koitai means better. So they just pretty much just put. It's like the same thing as if you put male and bed, like two different words, and then just combine it into one to explain something. And the thing also is with that, if you actually meant about being gay is forbidden, why not use the actually Greek word for it? Because there are at the time Greek words to describe homosexuality, but he didn't. So it's actually about behaviors, not identities, actions that harm others. So Paul condemns sexual exploitation and self-indulgence, not people for who they are attracted to. Because for Miriam, your family does not believe in, not really Jewish. Now put it this way, right? You don't really believe in God.
We don't believe in the Bible and in God, though.
Okay, so for you, there's actually no issue whatsoever if you are, let's say, homosexual. So there's no problem at all. And for
No.
Irish, we went earlier. Well, actually, but have you felt like any pressure from other people about it?
Me personally?
Yeah, let's say people who actually believe in it and they, try to push their idea towards you.
I can tell you about the people I've met like in the army, because in the army there is people who pray every day and read the Bible every day and are Jews in heart and actions. I can tell you that they don't really, at least these ones, those who go to army doesn't really care about this kind of stuff, but they wouldn't do it themselves. Like if I say, hey, my Jew friend who is praying every day, I love women, he's gonna be like, good for you. But some societies, it's really based on the society they're from, because some societies it's out of the questions and they might disown you and you can go back home, because some of them think the war way, that there is one thing and that thing is right and that's what it's gonna be. But there's a lot of people and there's a lot of rules, and everyone is using the rules that they grew up with. So not everybody cares, not everybody would do it. Of the people who were growing in these houses, sometimes go out and stop praying and stop everything, stop believing. And I mean, nothing's wrong with it.
All right. Then let's go with Irish.
Yes.
Because you already mentioned earlier about your upbringing. So how is it actually for you, within a society, like how they treat people who are, homosexual?
Well, in France, it's really okay. Everybody's pretty open about it. It's more in Ireland where it's like 50-50. I don't know much about what's going on in Ireland and homosexuality. I just know about my family. And so in my side of the family, they are really open about it. They do not think it's a sin. They think God is love, so God loves everyone, even if you're gay, and you can love whoever you want. But I have a cousin that's bi too, and she was bullied a lot because she was in Northern Ireland for school. And I know that where she was, they were really, really homophobic and being like, if you're gay, it's a sin. God doesn't love you. You do not love God. So for me, I felt like no harm, no shame. I was not bullied about it, but I know some people in my family were.
Okay. That's very unfortunate.
I honestly think everywhere it's about the society you grow in, because every society is different about it.
Just for me, it's kind of a bit of bunch mix. The thing what I've noticed, especially in the Philippines, is being gay is actually quite open. However, so like for example, if you have if you know someone who is gay, that's fine, whatnot, blah blah blah. But if your own son or daughter is gay, that is gonna be an issue. And that is what they often.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's like a thing, because you have to remember the Philippines is a 70, well, most of it, 70-80% are Christian or Catholic, mostly. So it is a thing in there. However, we are gonna end this podcast, and before we're gonna end this, I'm gonna have one question for both of you, and that is, if there is someone out there who who is struggling being being gay, or especially in a Christian, Jewish, or even in a Muslim community, what is your advice for them? And let's start with I forgot the name I gave you. Marin is not Maria. Miriam. Let's start with Miriam.
All of them. I have all the names. What is my advice? My personal advice? Go with your heart. You shouldn't do something you're not liking. You shouldn't be someone else just because someone tells you to. You shouldn't be scared about who you are. Even if you're Christian or Jewish, if you think they might, I don't know, disown you, but try to get a little info. If you think it's gonna happen, maybe do it. Maybe don't do it. But I think being true to yourself is like the best thing you can do, because it's your life after all. And if you don't do your life the way you want to, then you're gonna be stuck in between walls and never move on from the problem you might have. And well, make sure you stay true to yourself, but also get to be like part of society, because it's important to be part of all and also be like yourself, basically.
All right, thank you. And how about Irish?
I totally agree with Miriam. It feels weird. And like, I agree. Like, stay true to yourself. Love whoever you want to love, because love is the most powerful thing in the world. But also stay safe. Like, do not endanger yourself. If you know that your family is not okay with that, do not expose yourself and don't try to be in danger. Just keep it to yourself, maybe, or like talk to other people about it. And then when you know it's safe, like talk to them about it. And if they don't agree, don't care, because you love whoever you want to love. And if they don't support you, well, first of all, they're dumb. And second of all, it does matter a bit. But yeah, you're more important than them.
If I honestly, can I be honest for a moment? If my parents would want to disown me because who I am, I would love to be out of the house. I am so lucky they support me, but if I wasn't supported for being who I am, I would not want to be there. So I don't think it's a problem, really.
Yeah, but some people like don't have other things. Like if they have only their family around them and they cannot go anywhere.
Find your own people.
Yeah, but you don't want to be homeless either. But I agree with you. I agree. Like you need to be yourself most of all.
Maybe you got friends who's also like this. You can move out together and you're not alone.
Yeah, find family that supports you or friends that supports you if your parents.
They only knew family, but not blood family, friend family.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Again, thank you for both of you.
What is your comment about it, Muriel?
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've been pretty nice. My comment to you.
my comment or my how I say it, my advice.
Advice. What's your advice? Because you're not homo.
No, I
You're
am
no
not.
homo, so what do you-
The funny thing is, my mom thought I would be though. When I was okay, I'm gonna tell you the story. So when I was I think 15 or 16, and she accidentally found me sexting my my girlfriend at the time, like was like how I call it, like when, oh, no, wait, I was 13, I think 13 or 14, I'm not sure. She found out and she was like, oh, thank God you're not gay. When she saw it, she was so happy.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but no,
That's so
Funny.
no, so the thing is, I am not gay. However, I do see people around me who've been struggling. I mean, a lot of people are less struggling because of our time right now. But there are still people who are still hiding because of their family who are Christians or whatever religion forbid it. But the truth is, as we have shown you, is that the true translation of those verses that they use is not, it says, oh, gay is not allowed. It's more of the prostitution, being a slut, or abusing someone, or doing sexuality in front of a temple, in front of what is supposed to be holy. That is forbidden. Not love, because if we go back to what was the most important law according to Jesus or Yeshua, from Matthew 22:37-40 is like, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. So my advice to you is that, let's say if you're Christian, take 4 moments, pray alone and pray to God and ask Him what you can do. And you will not hear a voice, but you will hear something in your heart, like a sense of already knowing what you have to do. That is the voice of God. That is the voice of the Holy Spirit. And the same thing for people who are not Christian. My advice is still stands, or you can just ask yourself, what is the right thing. If you're struggling, I would advise go to therapy. Not because, I'm not saying that being gay is
Yeah.
mental health, but it is more of trying to find out what you want. Not to cure you, but to help you to find a solution of what you want to do. Not to help you. Because the thing is, this can be a mental health issue, not because being gay is a mental health thing, but because
Oh,
of
yeah.
but because of the pressure that you would feel, especially if you're surrounded by people who are against it. So do that, and if you don't have money, well, go to friends who you trust, who you believe that can help you. And from what my opinion is, just be always true to yourself, no matter what. And if people will judge you, go to a different house, or let's say a society where they don't judge you. Because at the end of the day, the most important law is to love each other, be there for each other, and loving other also includes yourself. You cannot love someone else if you cannot love yourself. So start with yourself and then someone else. So that is my advice. Is that the correct advice? Okay.
Yes, it was really nice.
Okay. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for this. And the next podcast will not be about Bible or Christian. It's gonna be about
Thank
more
God.
interesting things. Interesting things like, let's say, I don't know, actually, because I was thinking about this guy who pretty much pretends to be God and then just pretty much have human trafficking or
Oh,
stories about like crime, those type of things. That's like the next topic we're
Rhyme.
gonna have. Yeah, and then I want you guys to be there to. The thing is, I want to get more opinions from you guys. And
Yeah, we got such good opinions.
yeah,
As the
yeah,
gay
we're
community, as the gay
yeah,
community of this
we got
place.
no. But anyways, thank you guys for coming. I wish you all a good one. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Stay blessed.
Wow, stay blessed. That's something new. Okay, that's good. And then we go to Timothy. Timothy 1:9-10. The sexually immoral arson coitai. So he used this word again. Context. Well, the list. So the context of this is that's a whole list. It's about like slave traders, liars, and violent offenders. So what it's actually about is about crimes that harm others, exploitative sexual behavior. So this verse groups arson coitai with human traffickers, showing it refers to abuse, not orientation. And then again, Sodom and Gomorrah, Jude 1:7, Sharkos heteras, different flesh, refers to human desiring angels. What it's actually about is about crossing cosmic boundaries, not same-sex relationship. So Jude is talking about transgressing boundaries, not homosexuality. So in summary, every verse used against gay people comes from an ancient law or letters addressing exploitation, violence, and or ritual purity, not from teaching about sexual orientation or loving relationship. The Bible never says God hates gay people. And if you argue about God made man and woman together, yes, that's sure, that is being made. However, it never stated that God hates homosexuality. Just because there might be a certain flaw doesn't make it wrong. The whole story, the most important law in the Bible is about loving each other. So why say that is bad if someone loves someone? It's about what's in the inside. And again, even God himself, although we call him Father, technically he doesn't have a specific gender. Even in the Hebrew, it doesn't call he or she, just God or Lord. It is just so that with Jesus, yes, he did mention Father, but that's just how we are used to say Father. And even with the angels also don't have genders because they are spirits. So so the whole point of this is that is in Christian, especially in Catholic, we tend to say, do this is a wrong, blah blah yada yada, which is it's fine, to teach someone, but often or not, there is a feeling of force, and that force is pushing people away instead of inviting them and saying, "Oh, Jesus love you," and all of a sudden you say, "Jesus love you," but then he hates gay people because gay people is wrong, blah blah blah. Then you're contradicting what you are trying to teach, and there might be a chance that I am wrong. But what I do is I look and compare all the laws as mentioned to the most important law in Matthew of loving God and loving God's people. Because the key important law is actually love for God and love for his creation people. And if we go tell people gay is bad, then how is that love? That is why this podcast is, for me, in a certain way, quite important to do. Because we can call ourselves Christians, and a lot of people tend to do, but our action shows otherwise. As Christian, we must not show hate or push people away or abuse. Like all the laws that exist, it's about going against abused, or about laziness, about how you call it, about like, yeah, abuse, about over it's about abuse, about not power. It's about like even like slave traders, liars, violent offenders, lack of self-control, like all those certain negative thing. Those laws are for those, so we can become better version of ourselves. So that's why I'm telling people right now who's listening to this, if you're still listening to this, to please, if you are a true Christian, always look at the most important law, which is Matthew. And I'm gonna repeat this again and again. So Matthew 22:37 to 40. Love is the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. In Mark 12:29 to 31, the most important one, answered Yeshua, or Jesus, is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love is the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this: love your neighbors as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. And Luke 10:27, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbors as yourself. So how can we follow this law if we push people away just because they don't fulfill our standard? And again, there is a difference between someone being gay while a person is gay and abusive. Then we do not condemn them because they are gay, but we condemn them because they are abusive. There's a difference. And the same thing goes for straight people. There are so many Christians, even Muslims, or even religious people who have the mask on of being religious people, but their action does not show it. They show immorality. They show things that goes against what whether the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran teach. So again, people, please, if you're a Christian, try to read the Bible and to research yourself. It is important for people to know why they follow and why they are a certain religion. The whole point of it is that to be good and to do good, there is also the action. Sometimes it can be difficult. For example, for me, there's a certain person that I do not like, and I try to pray to God and ask for wisdom, but his sin is just too big to bear. So yeah, that is what I wanted to say. Heart of a lion, spirit profound. From the street to the scrolls, I blend it all. Modern, so divine.